Hello, everybody. Hope you're all in great shape and keeping up with your exercise regimen. Obviously, you're not. I have seen some of the people that watch my podcast, and yeah, you guys aren't in shape. There's like one guy who listened to my podcast once. Uh, he's the only guy. If you're listening, Jocelyn, you're in good shape. Everyone else, fat pieces of trash. Um, so if you see right there, you get you see my gym equipment. Um, I'm actually I'm not in good shape. I'm in A shape, but that shape is a sphere. Um, but yeah, believe it or not, I do go to the gym pretty hard. But unfortunately, I also go to the chicken tendies pretty hard, so it kind of counterbalances out any type of good intentions that I do. Um, yeah. So you see, man, I got a bald head now. So yeah, I started going to the gym when I was in high school, and when I did that, I was also working on a dairy farm for like 8 hours, like 20 hours a week while I was in high school, getting up early in the morning, um, going to the gym after. And when I was working on the farm, I'd be like burning like an extra 1,000 calories a day, and then I'd go to the gym, and then I'd think, oh hey, I'm working out at the gym enough. Uh, I guess I can eat as much as I want. So when I quit working on the farm and went to the call center, I didn't change my eating habits, so I gained like 60 pounds in like less than a year. So yeah, I didn't think that one through. So yeah, I was like super focused in on going to the gym growing up. I basically went to the local YMCA, um, which eventually closed down during COVID, um, because our local YMCA was horribly mismanaged with money. We got like they ended up with like 100,000, like $200,000 worth of funding or something like that, and instead of actually replacing it with stuff that could actually benefit the building, um, they spent. They're like, oh, let's buy 10 $5,000 treadmills instead of, I don't know, actually fixing some of the lockers or putting in proper doors in the back entryway or something like that. So they spent it all on a bunch of frivolous bull crap, and that's why nobody goes to the YMCA. That's why everybody stopped going to the YMCA in our town. So good job, Jim. You made some pretty poor decisions regarding that money. So, anyways, um, I went to the gym. Me and my buddies all went to the gym. The worst thing about going to the YMCA is that there was like a bunch of 13-year-olds that went to the gym, um, which get kind of super annoying. Like you'd be going in there, you'd be working out a set, and like some fat 12-year-old girl would come in and be like, "Hey, you're doing a bad job of that. He's only lifting 100 pounds." Like, girl, you're 12 years old. You got a double chin and a fupa. So, actually, I shouldn't say fupa. That's disgusting. I don't even know what that is. But, anyways, but I was actually pretty blessed in that when I went to the gym in high school, it was before everybody had a smartphone. So basically, all you had in the gym were iPod Bros. Um, so you'd have guys, they'd have their iPods on, and that was it. Everyone was focused on going to the gym. The only distractions were yoga pants, and that's how God wants the gym to be. Don't get distracted by memes. Get distracted by booty. That is the proper way of doing things. Now, as I got older and I started working at the call center, my call center had a tiny, tiny gym, but again, they spent money on the worst thing possible. They, instead of buying proper equipment, they bought a bunch of gimmicky equipment. I remember one time we wanted a squat rack in there, and they're like, "No, that's too expensive." I'm like, "You literally have a piece of equipment that the sole purpose is to stand on it, and it vibrates you. Um, so all you do is you stand on it. It violently shakes you around for about 10 minutes, and then at the end of it, your legs itch. So it just kind of reminds me of my wedding night. But it was it was pretty horrible. Eventually they got rid of it, and we ended up getting a proper squat rack. But yeah, it was pretty good. Now our local YMCA, what it was is that the gym part of it, it was actually it was a basketball court, and they divided the gym into two sections. There was the workout area, and there was the half court. But what they ended up doing is they made the half court even smaller, and because of that, you couldn't play basketball there properly. There was no 3-point line or nothing like that, so you couldn't actually do anything. It was just stupid. And the reason why they did that is because of those $20,000 treadmills. They filled the gym with so much useless crap, and that was that. Now, my buddy, he ended up teaching me some stuff at the gym. He was, what up, Alan? He's actually like, at the time he was 22 years old, weighed 120 pounds, and could deadlift 405 pounds. So, good job, Alan. You had a tight little booty then. So he was training to become a firefighter, which I thought all you needed to do to become a firefighter, at least according to my buddy Tyler, was to grow a bad mustache and overeat. But no, I guess you have to actually put some strength training into it. As I got older, my buddy, he opened up his own gym, which was better, much better gym, and it had key card access, so I wasn't stuck to going to the gym between like 10 in the morning and 8 at night. I could actually go between 5 in the morning and 11 at night. Now, the only problem with my new gym is that the owner is such a good buddy of mine, I always end up getting distracted whenever I go there. It's like, I go in there wanting to do a set, and I'm like, oh, he's got some spicy new memes. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. What's so like, hey, you got some spicy memes? He's like, yep. Now, going to the gym at one point, I was really hardcore into like going like to the nutrition store, buying a bunch of protein, consuming all of it, and basically buying whatever the chick behind the counter did, because I was a complete simp. So she was 100% a muscle mummy, and that was apparently my weakness. So I would go in there. She's like, "You should buy some Aplodin." If you don't know what Aplodin is, it's nothing. Basically like overpriced creatine. And she was like, "Yeah, you want to get that? You want to get some creatine, and you want to get some protein." So I went like way overboard on eating protein and creatine at one point. And it was like flavored creatine, so like it was like, I don't know, 5 grams of creatine and like 15 to 20 grams of sugar. Mix it up, you have like a fruit juice, like fruit punch creatine. And then I had chocolate protein powder, and I got so nasty with it that I would combine my chocolate protein powder with my fruit punch, and it was just it's not the worst thing I've put in my mouth, but it's pretty close. Just shake that up and drink that, and I got to the point where I was so obsessed with protein. And this is before I get fat, so eventually overeating the protein caught up with me because I was just packing in so many calories I didn't even know what to do with. I would go to like the local grocery store, buy like just giant cans of canned chicken or canned tuna, and I would just go to the parking lot, scarf it down, go to the gym, go back to the store, buy more canned chicken, because I was obsessed with like getting all my protein within like 10 minutes of working out. And then I would go to like Zeller's, buy protein bars. I would probably eating like, at my peak, I was probably eating like 4,000 calories a day, just trying to get all that protein in. And it didn't affect me at first because I was burning tons of calories working on the farm. But once I actually had to get a job where I sat on my butt all day, it kind of caught up with me. Now, when it really caught up with me was when I met my wife. I stopped going to the gym as much, stopped watching my diet, stopped doing all that stuff because she was actually she was my first girlfriend. So I had no distractions before except for the cougars and the yoga pants. But now it's like, now that I'm married, it's like your your willingness to improve your physique goes rapidly downhill once you have someone who's actually willing to touch your wiener. So it's just kind of a wild time, and I really wish I kept it up. But I'm hoping now. This is when I know I'm becoming an old man because I get excited over increased fiber intake. Like I'm taking Metamucil. Metamucil, that's like the thing they advertise to old people. So I want to make sure I get everything in check. I'm 36 years old. I want to make sure I'm not a diabetic and lose my toes before I'm 50. So yeah, and also there's one other thing. Sometimes me and my buddies we will talk about nasty stories at the gym, and I'm gonna repeat one story. Um, so my buddy told me the story about some guy who was absolutely down bad in my hometown. He would like to pick up any girl and take her home or anything like that. So it was just basically you got your white trash, but then you get your fisherman's white trash, which is basically just white trash, just more meth. She picked her up, brought her to he brought her to a hotel, and he, like a gentleman, he just started motorboating. And when he did that, he thought he thought he had a nipple in the mouth, and then he thought he was lactating. It's like, nope, he bit into a cyst. Now, if this made you puke already and makes you want to swear off women, don't worry, it doesn't make you gay. It just makes you cisgendered. See you later.